Is two. One, compared to the R6, because I wrote that the other week, this bike is not as hot as that one, because I remember on the R6, you would crank the throttle and it felt like you were just opening the gates of hell. It gets that fucking hot. You're just sweating every time you crack the throttle. This one, it runs a lot hotter than my 500, but the heat only lingers around your feet. It's not too bad, you know, so maybe you get sweaty feet, whatever, you know. That's why you wear, you know, I don't know, windy shoes. But one thing I've noticed, when you're putting your foot down, your knee tends to touch the clutch cover right there. Either the clutch cover or the I guess it's the timing cover on this side. Either foot you put down, because I like to just put one foot down. Your knee is touching that spot, and that's ridiculously hot. You know, thankfully, you know, I wear knee pads, but if you're not into the habit of wearing knee pads, you're gonna feel that heat. It's gonna burn. But that's why I recommend knee pads, or just some kind of riding armor that does have knee pads, because you're gonna feel that heat. Not a big deal. Again, just wear armor. You should be wearing armor anyways. But yeah, everything about the bike, it's great. I washed it. You know, I've gotten pretty intimate with the lines and such on the bike, and they're pretty nice. One thing I can complain about is just like, goddamn, look at this fucking this white line on the tire. I've been trying my hardest to just scrub it off with, you know, by leading it over, and you can see on this side, you know, the chicken strips are, yeah, they're okay. But yeah, like I don't know, that white line's just really annoying me. It's not a big deal though. It's just a small little complaint. But yeah, there's something that also is never really mentioned, but it's the fact that this bike, it has something called a pair valve, which is for emissions. And I thought it was like something rattling loose underneath the gas tank, and that's what it sounds like. It sounds like something just like, it sounds like engine knocking or something terrible. And I asked the forum, or the CB650F forum, what that was, and they said it was just emissions. It's a solenoid that pumps air into the exhaust, and all it does is just make the exhaust quote unquote run cleaner for California emissions and European emissions, which it sounds annoying between 1,000 2,000 RPM, because that's where it activates. But once you get it, you know, rolling, you don't hear it anymore unless you're trying to keep the revs low. But yeah, you're still averaging like 45 miles per gallon. Riding it hard, I got 40 miles per gallon. Riding it easy, you get 50. That's the best I've seen. So yeah, it's great. Insurance is not that bad. I'm paying like $750 a year. That as opposed to $700 for the 500. You know, not bad, considering this is like a super sport engine. But yeah, it's a great bike. Again, I don't know if I've mentioned this already, but beginners, brand new beginners, unless you live in some state where you're just getting straight roads, and sure, you're not maneuvering the bike that much. But if you wanna become a pro at lane splitting and such, I can't recommend this bike, because again, the seat height in conjunction with the same amount of power and I haven't mentioned yet, the transmission's a little wonky. Sometimes what I've experienced in the past, like I'll be at 6th gear and it'll randomly just shift down to 5th, and then I let it decelerate and then it shifts down to 4th, 3rd. It's almost like you're walking the transmission down. It's really weird. That, and it likes to shift into false neutrals. So imagine, you know, you're leaned over and you're trying to shift down and catch some speed, and you're shifting to false neutral. For beginners, they're gonna freak out and put their foot down and, you know, break their leg or whatever. But, you know, more experienced riders would know how to handle that because they have that experience, you know. But you'd rather learn on a lighter bike, because again, this thing's not only 450 pounds, 450. Yeah, but I just wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend learning on this bike unless you live in a state where it's a lot of straight roads. But yeah, that concludes my impressions. I did one prior to this one. I'll see which one I like most or more, and I'll put that one out. I'll put out a review, like a 5,000 mile or something review on it. You know, what I've done to the bike and such. But yeah, it's a great bike. I love it. All right, guys, ride safe. See you later.